Okay, guys, it's still March. I mean it's April. It's not still March, but it's April the 2nd, 2024, and it's 3:51 p.m. I'm gonna walk back to the McDonald's and the Hardee's. I'm gonna sit at one of the fast food restaurants, and I'm gonna type out. I'm gonna author another work paper. This one is gonna be on it's uh, it's gonna be on the medical and health innovation and our project to actually have the African Union, one of the nations, a company or partnership in the African Union, actually come up, invent the cure for HIV and AIDS and cancer and so forth, and all sorts of other maladies and illnesses and deficiencies and so forth. Africa is going to be quite legendary, and it's going to be quite legendary in taking the world to the next step of medical and health innovation, and it honestly has earned it. So, so what I'm trying to say to you, and I promise to you guys that I don't have any sort of malady, or disease, or disorder, or deformity, or illness whatsoever. I do have a scar on my arm. I was burnt at 15 years old, saving the house, my family's home, and that's how I officially got into not only a special Interpol and CIA program, but that's how I got into some of the I guess that's how I was approached with the idea of creating a Maripol and going to Howard University and being able to figure things out, beyond just being the future chief manager of the Central Intelligence Agency and Interpol, in focusing on the United States and the Caribbean, and beyond that, from that central focal point. So we got to the point. So I got to the point of, I said, well, you've been studying this ever since school and so forth. You've gone through a lot of pain, so we're going to provide you an opportunity to figure things out and to even go further than what we anticipated. So they never said world president at this particular point, but they did say, well, you have an opportunity to be able to create some sort of United Americas, or America coming together, the whole hemisphere, and you will be able to have the opportunity of being an American citizen and president of the Caribbean community at the same time. So yes, you're going to remain in the United States of America for the rest of your life if you choose to, but you can be the president of the Caribbean community and maybe even the president of the Americas or something of that nature. We don't know. You decide and so forth. But here, this is what I want you guys. This is what I want you and your parents to know. It's not a coincidence that we found a way to have you focus on the Organization of American States in your encyclopedia when you were a kid, and we kept giving you so many signs all over the place to keep reading it and trying to figure it out and figure out what ought to be next, and that's all they said to me as a 15. Or that's all they communicated to me as a 15-year-old in Virginia, in Williamsburg, Virginia, and so they never said anything else for the most part. Okay, so there's an Organization of American States building in near St. John's, Antigua and Barbuda. So I do remember it, and that's why I kept reading that particular, and that article in the encyclopedia, the Organization of American States, and I read additional articles elsewhere in textbooks in the library. So I do remember that, So things are not just illusory. The communications I'm receiving aren't illusory, and sometimes I go months on end without speaking to an agent directly. That's how proficient I've become ever since childhood. So I know the narrative points, and I know what way I ought to be at the respective time. Okay, so later today, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have authored by the end of the day, maybe by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then I might be able to upload it immediately on script.com and maybe even link it in, and then later on or tomorrow I'll focus on uploading the JPG pages, version of the pages, the image version of the pages to my Facebook account and Twitter account, and so on. And naturally, everything is sent to the Central Intelligence Agency database, disclosed and undisclosed offices. That's just protocol, but I do have to back it up with my own private files, and I do have to evidence as much as possible to the onlooking world that I'm doing all of the work, that I am committed to helping move this world beyond this particular point into the next paradigm. So yes, I'm going to be the first world president. I'm going to be the first president and commissioner of the world government of the United Nations. That's not off the table. That's not being taken up by anyone else. It's impossible. There aren't lookalikes or more convincing folks who are going to steal my idea or steal my position or my contracts. None of that is possible, other than me doing exactly what I said that I'm going to do. And I don't want any retaliation to this. No retaliation. I want you guys to, I'm easing you guys into accepting, yes, this is what we have to go through. And speaking of the United States of America, to get to the next paradigm and to keep America as the lead manager, essentially the lead managing nation state of the United Nations world government, the world government as it will be in 2044. And when you get into that point, you know, so I'm going to remain chief manager of the United States government and its partnerships, and over the next 30 years, and then I'll be chief manager of the GIA, the Global Intelligence Agency, at that point moving forward, and Interpol and so forth. You know, so it's a 30-year tenure which began in November 2023. It's a 30-year tenure which began in November 2023, and and then I will create the Global Intelligence Agency, and as first world president, I will be able to have myself accounted as the chief manager of the Global Intelligence Agency, the GIA, and Interpol, and the United Nations. You know, for the most part, I wouldn't have to say the United Nations, but Interpol for an additional 30-year tenure, or for a new 30-year tenure from 2044 moving forward. So there's going to be an overlap, but it's not a power grab move. That's not how things work. We're just doing what we need to do to get the job done. Okay, I don't believe in power grabbing. I don't believe in pursuit of power, any of that. Okay, it's a pursuit of doing the right thing, and I'm the most qualified at all times. I'm very modest and presented to the world my modesty. I like being in the first dimension. I like being here on Earth. I like working in the field, being in here on Earth in general, whether in a corporate office or speaking with regular folks. When I visit civil society organizations, when I visit charities, when I visit local government offices and so forth. You know, I do enjoy doing it. I do like my privacy. I do like remaining within my household when doing my work, my private office, and so forth. So I'm going to have a family house in Coral Gables, I'm pretty sure of it, and a private office. Okay? Or I'm going to be on my laptop a lot. All right? So we're going to close all the simulations and everything. We're going to shut it down. There's not going to be any visuals into my house or any of that. That's coming to an end very soon, 2 to 3 weeks. I told you guys what's going to go down, and security is going to show up. NATO security agents, they're just going to show up. European and other immigrants, they're all going to be immigrants, I promise you. 50,000 NATO agents are going to show up here in the United States just to coalesce around me here in Florida. And I don't make stuff up. No lie. So, I'm going to ease you guys into accepting that. I cannot allow anyone to believe that they should be able to challenge God. I give you guys that opportunity to be able to meet with God on a individual to individual basis. When I give you, when I or anyone else gives you a commission that's above the commission of anyone beneath you, you know, anyone perceived as beneath you in commission, and you mistreat them, I show up and I say, that's enough. I'm not supposed to treat you well, and I'm going to communicate to you clearly, I am God. And I suckered you into that because you've been a mean person the whole time, running the NAACP, or running America Coming Together, or Howard University, and so forth. That's what I grew up doing. All right? So, yes, I am Jesus Christ. I am God. Reincarnated. Now you guys know.